Happy Mounjaro Monday, friends. Wow. The end of obesity.
Yay, it's done.
Is it over?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? We just say, it's the end. It's the end of obesity. Jeff and I, we did not have cable TV, especially when the kids were growing up.
We still don't.
We still don't. We do have some streaming things now, though. And we missed out on 29 years of South Park. I'm not sure what you,
Wait, it was on for 29 years?
29 years,
Oh
Jeff.
my gosh.
Because I saw this year's the 29th season for 29 years.
We only missed 29 years.
29 years. But we do have a streaming service called Paramount Plus, and I don't know what channel South Park was on for, or is on for 29 years, and then Paramount picks it up, like a day or two after the show happens or whatever.
I think it's Comedy Central.
You think maybe Comedy Central?
I don't know. That's the logo that pops up.
Oh, okay. Then maybe it was on Comedy Central, which is a channel that we don't have. So anyway, even though South Park's been around forever, it's been kind of new for us. And yesterday, when we turned on Paramount Plus, Jeff loves it because that's where he sees all of his old Star Treks. And he is a definite Trekkie, and he likes everything Star Trek, but we're an equal opportunity house. He likes Star Wars too.
Right. I'm ambidextrous.
Yeah. He likes all that sci-fi kind of stuff. And anyway, we turned on Paramount Plus, thinking maybe he'd watch a little Star Trek or something. And we saw on there was this episode of South Park called The End of Obesity. And
that looks interesting.
Yeah. And it had a cute pudgy kid with his shirt up, giving himself a Mounjaro shot, or it looked like either a Mounjaro or Zepbound or Ozempic or Wegovy shot. And so we knew it had to be about GLP-1s and thought it might be kind of funny. And I tell you what, you guys, oh my gosh, I laughed so hard.
Now, I thought, besides being funny, the number of things in the show that were accurate.
Oh my gosh, that were crazy.
Oh, and also at the beginning, it warns you that you might be triggered by hearing the sound of one of the pens being injected. And like that. The real, and we could tell that's the real sound. Someone in that group of people who are producing this, I bet you, takes Mounjaro and has recorded it.
Yeah, they had the exact sound. It really was the exact sound. Now, I will tell you, for anyone who's in the dark ages like us, who's never seen South Park before.
It is not family friendly, maybe?
Yeah, it's not for kids, even though it's about kids and they go to school.
Yeah.
It could not be on regular public TV stuff because the kids swear a lot. There's a lot of profanity and stuff in it. It's a cartoon made for adults. But I tell you what.
And it was high violence, I thought.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if it was at the movie theater, it'd be rated R. But it had a lot of comedy in it. Oh my gosh. And a lot of truth about what we went through, especially in 2024, is when this came out, when we were having when it was shortages. So it had stuff about the shortages. It had all kinds of cool stuff on it. So we're going to be talking about that today. And if any of you saw that episode, I think it came out in May of last year, because it does say 2024. So I think it was May of 2024 when it came out. So a lot of you maybe have saw it, last year, and it's old news, but it was new news to us because I thought it was really interesting and had a lot of things that we could discuss about today. And I want to give a big thank you right now to Grant. Thanks, Grant, for the super sticker. Yay! I appreciate that, Grant. And real quick for my week this week on Mounjaro, I'm going to be taking my 84th shot. So I do have it ready, Mindy. We got to make sure I don't forget to take it, but it's right here. I always like to do my shot live every Monday. And some people, this may be your first time seeing Anchor Moments. And you might be thinking about going on a Mounjaro, Zepbound, Ozempic, or Wegovy, some GLP-1 journey, and interested in, does the shots hurt? What are the side effects? What's it like? Have you been on it for a long time? I can share all that kind of information with you. And so you can ask questions. We are live right now. So if you put questions in the chat, when we're done having a little discussion here about, sorry, sweetie, he's always afraid I'm going to smack him, but I never do. He's good at ducking. But my husband, Jeff, and I are here for you. Jeff does not take a GLP-1, but he is trying to lose weight. And I have type 2 diabetes, so I take Mounjaro. This will be my 84th shot. I'm on the 12.5 milligrams of Mounjaro. Side effects, I have almost none. The big, except
I know one.
Constipation. Yep, I do have to stay on top of constipation and stay ahead of it, because whenever I start slacking and not getting enough fiber, water, and I can have issues. And so at least once a week, I also take 1 dose of Miralax to try to stay ahead of it. And I'll go a few days and things will be going good. And I think, I'm doing okay. So I'm only going to take it if I really need it. And then sure enough.
Your doctor said you could take it every day if you wanted to.
Yes, my doctor did. My doctor told me that I could take it every day if I needed to, because Miralax is, of all of them out there, it's one of the better ones that wouldn't be as bad for you, that it should be okay. But I still try to be as natural as possible. And so if I can get away with not taking a medication, I'm going to do that. So, but I did have an issue yesterday where it was difficult to do what I needed to do. And so I had to take some Miralax before I went to bed last night to get things moving again. And for my friends who've taken Miralax, and if it's not working for you, it's because you're not drinking enough water, more than likely. Because Miralax will not work if you do not drink enough water. We're not doctors. I'm your
consult your physician.
So consult your physician, but you can ask your physician about water, and they'll tell you if you're not drinking enough water, Miralax won't work. And it's not just drinking water while you're taking the Miralax; it's water during the day. So that way
it works with the water.
Yeah, it works with the water in your body to soften things up, so everything moves out a lot smoother and easier. And so it's really important that you take enough water so your Miralax will work. If your doctor says you can take Miralax, someone might be taking some kind of medication and have another disease or something that can't have Miralax. It's always good to ask your doctor. But my doctor said I was okay, that I could take it every day if I needed to. So anyway, constipation is the one thing that I have to stay ahead of. But other than that, I'm really good with the medication. I really like it. It helps quiet my food noise. I get fuller faster when I'm taking it, but food still tastes good to me. It still tastes good to me. But everyone's a little different. Some people have other side effects, but for me, that's the only side effect I do have. And this week, I I kept off the 1.5 pounds that I lost last week, but I didn't lose any new weight. So I'm at 41.5 pounds lost with Mounjaro, and I am 50 pounds lighter from my heaviest weight.
That's great.
And so if you see my profile picture, that was me at least 50 pounds ago. So anyway, that's my little story with that. And pretty much my week was good. I got some swimming in. It's very hot in Arizona, so it's not fun to go outside right now because every day is well over 100. A lot of days are over 110, so it's really, really hot here. But swimming in the evening when the sun goes down is my favorite way to get some exercise. So I have been at least getting some swimming in too. All right, let's chat about that South Park episode.
Yeah, you know what? I thought. Can I jump in?
Yeah,
Okay.
So I'm looking at you.
I thought so. My thoughts were, it's kind of like a documentary. Okay. Now wait, let me explain that, because say you didn't know anything about Mounjaro or tirzepatide products. If you watch this show, you would know a whole bunch when you got done, like how there was a struggle to find it during the shortages, how much money it costs, especially in the United States.
Because it started in the very beginning where the chubbiest kid on South Park was at the doctor's office with his mom, and the doctor's like, your heart rate's up, your blood pressure's up, and you are so severely overweight. But would you like to be thin? And the kid's like, yeah, you mean I could be thin? And the mom was like, he tried diet and exercise, and that just doesn't work for him. And the doctor said, wait, there's something else you can try. And he wanted to put him on semaglutide, which is Wegovy and Ozempic are semaglutide. And it's the exact same medication. Wegovy is for obesity, and Ozempic is for type 2 diabetes.
And they got that information out in a cartoon. I mean,
and they explained it really well with that.
And my favorite part, though.
Oh, wait. So the kid's really excited because, you mean I can take a drug and it's going to make me thin? That's great. So he is super jazzed. He wants to do it. And then the mom asked, but how much would that cost? And the doctor's like, well, it's, since he doesn't have diabetes, you'd have to pay, the full price. And the full price of the medication is $1,200 a month. And the mom was like, oh, we don't have that kind of money. We can't afford that.
That's the same reaction we had when your doctor told you.
Exactly.
And isn't that exactly what he said, how much it cost?
That's exactly what happened to me. So when I first had type 2 diabetes, when I got diagnosed with it in 2020, shortly thereafter, Ozempic came out. And my doctor said, would you be interested in taking Ozempic? And it was crazy expensive. It was at least $1,000 a month. And there was no way I could afford to do that. So I didn't take it. Then a couple years later, the second that Mounjaro came out, my doctor was really excited to tell me about it. And he said, oh, Gina, people are type 2 diabetics in the studies where they were, in the clinical trials, they lost tons more weight than on Ozempic. People with type 2 diabetes were losing 50 pounds or more. And I was like, wow, 50 pounds. I'd love to lose 50 pounds. I've never been able to lose 50 pounds, and I've gone on a million diets, but I've never been able to hit that 50-pound mark. And he wrote it down on a piece of paper for me and handed it to me. And he said, when you're ready, you let me know and I will write that prescription for you. And so I was like, oh, thank you so much, Dr. Gannon. And then I went home and called up my health insurance, and they did not cover it. And it was going to be, it was between $1,200 and $1,400 a month. And I'm like, Oh my gosh, there was no way. There was no way we could afford that.
Well,
so
we
I
would have
couldn't
lost
take
a
it.
lot of weight because we wouldn't have been able to afford food.
Yeah.
among other things.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's like a mortgage payment. That is huge. That is so expensive. There was just no way. And then in January of 2024, Jeff had his second bladder cancer surgery, and we hit all of our out-of-pocket expenses.
Deductible.
Yeah, we had a high deductible insurance, and we met that, and all the out-of-pocket expenses. And we had a special nurse person who helps you navigate your hospital bills and your benefits. And so we called that benefits manager, and she was wonderful. And she helped out with a lot of things with Jeff's bladder cancer. And then I asked her one day, I said, hey, can you check and see what the cost would be for me this year to try Mounjaro? And she looked it up and got back to me, and she was like, oh my gosh, they cover it now, Gina. And so it was only going to be like $70 a month. And then she said, and then you can apply for the coupon, and you'll be able, you might be able to get it for even less than that. And I did. So,
but think about it. Oh, it can either be $1,200 or 70.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just pull numbers out of our whatever.
Oh my gosh.
If people will pay it, they'll pay it.
Yeah. And I, that was 50 pounds ago. I was morbidly obese, as what my BMI said. It's not just me being mean to myself. That was my BMI. I was morbidly obese. I had my A1C was starting to climb high again. I had stage 1 non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. My knees hurt all the time. I had health issues. The obesity was definitely causing health issues, and my type 2 diabetes was causing health issues. And oh my gosh, being on Mounjaro has just been a godsend. My A1C is 5.6 the last time I got it checked about 3 months ago. 5.6. That's in the normal range, like a normal person. And my non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, gone. They did an ultrasound of my liver, and the fat is gone. It's all cured, and my knees don't hurt anymore. And that's huge. I can go walk up and down stairs, and it doesn't hurt, and I don't have to walk real funny when I do it, because I used to have a weird way to go upstairs that I just looked really crippled. And now I can go upstairs just, just easy peasy.
Can I tell my favorite part yet?
No.
Because it actually was related to what we were just talking about.
I remember thinking, when my doctor said you could lose 50 pounds on this medication, and I was like, yes, sign me up. Until I found out how much it was, and then it was just a wah, 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 and my hopes were up high, and then just trashed. For a while there.
I should probably mention that if you haven't watched this episode, you might hear some spoilers along the way. My favorite part of the show, I think, was when they sang the song for navigating the American healthcare system. And they go and visit the insurance company. It was hilarious.
Oh, hilarious! Because the super chubby kid, he started crying at school on the playground because he was so tired of being overweight and being made fun of for being so chubby. And I really understand that too. Oh my gosh! And so his friends felt bad, and then they're like, "Hey, we can help you navigate the insurance system and see if we can get it covered."
They were so optimistic at the beginning of that song.
Yeah.
And telling all those different steps they had to go through. They had to go back here, and then they got back there, or whatever. And I loved it when they visited the insurance company office, and they come in, and it's all beautifully appointed, crystal walls and decorations, and the guy's in a suit and says, "Oh, you're here to buy insurance?" "No, we already have our insurance." And "Oh, then you're here to pay your bill. No, we're not going to pay. We're going to make you pay for the stuff.
Oh yeah, we're here because we need to get approved for something.
Down this door over here, and you go in. There's one person there in a dimly lit office with a dot matrix printer running in the background,
and piles of paper, just stacks and stacks of papers.
A CRT monitor for the computer, a dial-up rotary phone, and a typewriter.
Yeah, that he's using 2 fingers, and he's the only person working that.
And he calls his manager or director of medical director, and didn't even tell any of the details. Said, well, okay, no. And we didn't even tell him all the details. Our medical director, the answer is always no.
But then he gives him hope and says, but if you go, back to your doctor and you fill out some papers and stuff, then maybe. So they go back to the doctor. He has to have another checkup. He has to fill out all the paperwork again. Then he comes back and he has it. And then he's like, no, now you need a second opinion. So then they go and get a second opinion and come back. Oh, but now you need a specialist's opinion.
And it just was very reminiscent about what kind of things we have to go through in the
United States
healthcare system.
Yep, exactly. It was crazy. And then they figure out
they can't get it, so they're going to
make it. They're going to be their own compounding place. And they find a place in India that manufactures some of the ingredients to make semaglutide.
They had to buy the biostatic water to mix it in.
Yeah, because they still had to go to the pharmacy to pick up that. Yeah, the water and
suitable for injecting.
Yeah, and they're watching YouTube and
building the little device for shaking it up with like a erector set kind of toys that kids would have. Yeah, they're very resourceful.
Oh, they were very resourceful kids.
And their plan was to provide this cheap medication to everybody,
to the masses, so that anybody would be able to afford it. Wouldn't that be nice?
Especially with different news that came out today. Huh?
Yeah, anyway. And that's part of what has happened here too. That a lot of people were able to get these medications for a more affordable price from compounding pharmacies in the United States, but they were only able to do that. To copy the recipe and make it because Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, they both of those companies, they couldn't keep up with the demand. And so because people couldn't get their medications because they couldn't make it fast enough for all the people who want to be on it, that compounding pharmacies could make it. And they're making it a lot cheaper because you know what? The ingredients really aren't that expensive. And so they were making it for a lot less. And so then more people were able to afford to be on it and to pay out of pocket to go to a compounding pharmacy. And so anyway, so the kids start.
Now wait a minute. Some of it didn't really, isn't necessary for us to go into actually. Because the parts that really matter, I think, for the documentary purposes are things like the Lizzo ad. Do you remember the Lizzo ad? It was based on the different pharmaceutical commercials that you see.
Yeah, and all the
it was a very
extra weird side effects. Oh yeah, and they're you can't afford Ozempic and you can't afford Mounjaro, but you can have Lizzo, and Lizzo
body positivity.
Yeah, you had to watch some, had special things about body positivity and positivity songs and things. And then, but it also was a medication you could take, but it had horrible side effects. I mean, they were pooping out their ears. I mean, it was really weird, but not as good as the other stuff. And, we have that here in the United States too. If you watch the Oprah special, there was a family on there that had a daughter that had battled obesity, where it was just horrible for the poor thing. And they couldn't afford the name brand, the big gun ones, the Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, or Zepbound. And there were some other medications that are GLP-1s. Some of the older ones were a little bit cheaper, but not as effective as the best stuff. So, I mean, so even that part was really, it was spot on. So they had it like a joke, but it was based off of what really was going on.
Right.
And then they had all the moms in town, the wealthier families.
And they didn't want to admit that they were on one of the drugs.
Either Mounjaro or Ozempic.
Said, oh, I've been working out.
I've been doing Pilates. And they're all wearing little halter tops so they could show off their skinny little bellies, you know. And so, but then when they would discover that each other were on it, they were having these parties and sharing pens, so to speak. And they were saying that their doctors wouldn't prescribe it for them anymore because they were saying, you were never obese. You just needed to lose a few pounds and that was it. You're just doing it to try to get extra skinny. You're not diabetic. You're not obese. You don't need to be taking these medications. But they wanted it because it made them ultra thin and made it easier to stay skinny.
What do you think about this, though?
Oh my gosh. So really, it was so funny that when we turned on Paramount, that, you know, they give you some choices of some things that they think are a show that you would like. And when we turned it on, right on the top was this episode of South Park, you know, about the obesity stuff. Oh my gosh, you guys. So not only did it talk about the medications, it also talked about food manufacturers.
And like how they design their foods on purpose, especially like sugar cereals and things like that, to make you crave more. Because, of course, I want to sell a product. And it reminded me of how we're doing this book study on salt, sugar, and
so this is your first time to Anchor Moments. On Mondays, I do my Mounjaro Monday Live, and I give myself my shot on Mondays and do a Q&A. But I also on Sundays have a weight loss book club. And this is the third book that we've done. We do one chapter a week because we're a book club for busy people. So just one chapter a week. And we've been doing a deep dive into salt, sugar, fat.
And the behind the scenes corporate meetings with people to figure out their strategy for how they're going to sell more, and get people addicted to their products was eye-opening. And it was like very well demonstrated in the South Park episode. They showed all of the mascots for all the different
the sugar cereals. So you had Sugar Bear and the rabbit Trixer for kids.
And not great.
Yeah, Tony the Tiger. They're great for frosted
They're no
flakes.
longer staying cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, they had the cuckoo bird for for Cocoa Puffs, and they had and then they had
Captain Crunch.
Yeah, they had Captain Crunch on there.
Little
Debbie.
And there's some not suitable for work language in there.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of swearing in there. Oh my gosh. And they have a big meeting with all of these sugar cereal things with a man that's in a suit. That's a human that's in a suit that is part of the manufacturing industry, CEO, executive kind of person. And they are all having dinner together and just having a big meeting.
If we keep them on Lizzo, we're fine. We can still sell. But if they keep on moving people, only the rich people will be able to move to the Mounjaro and stuff, and all the poor people, we'll still have them.
Yeah, because all they can do is Lizzo. Lizzo doesn't work. They'll still eat our cereals and stuff. And they are just like so upset because they are losing money. And you know what? I've heard that has been happening, that so many people in the United States are starting to go on these medications, especially those of us who have type 2 diabetes, if our insurance is covering part of it. And then the people that were able to afford it because of the compounding pharmacies bringing the price down. There are a ton of people trying to be on these medications. And while we're on them, we're not craving all that junk food, and we're eating a lot less of a lot less processed foods, a lot less cereals and things, a lot less Little Debbie's cakes and all that kind of stuff. We're eating less of that. And it's starting to make a difference in the pockets of the manufacturers who manufacture these kind of products. And so there was, oh my gosh, all these cartoon characters from all these cereals are trying to stop it and stop people from taking the medication. And oh, it was a riot hearing, watching all of that happen and going,
and they're
oh my
cigars
gosh,
and
yeah,
what are we gonna do?
Yeah, we gotta get them hooked. We're not eating enough cereal, Oh my gosh, all of that. It was a lot. I'm going to read now. If anyone else here had seen that episode and they have something in there. Oh,
one other thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting how the dad, who didn't understand what was going on, went to this party and was going to end up taking Mounjaro.
Oh, and he
whatever.
did. Yeah, he was.
And he was scared to do the first injection. And I thought, he should watch your YouTube video.
Scared the first time too, giving myself my shot.
I think that's a very common thing.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, they hit so many spot on feelings and things that we've gone through. Those of us who've been on this journey for over a year. Oh my gosh, all the things that were going on then, they really, really hit it.
We never did a cereal bomb. Did you ever do a cereal bomb?
No, I've never done a cereal bomb.
That's good. The little kid would get a big container of KFC and put different sugar cereals in it.
On top of the chicken.
Gravy and milk. Oh.
Yeah, and he'd eat it while sitting on the toilet because they just, everything would just slide out.
And then halfway through I poop so I can fit more in.
Yeah, that was kind of gross.
Sorry.
I don't think that was real. Yeah. I think that was just trying to be
but it was
funny,
exaggeration.
But exaggeration,
sometimes people have those craving kind of foods that they overindulge in.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, let's see what some of your thoughts are and see if we have anyone who actually saw that episode. Let's see. Mindy says, I watched the episode. I used to watch South Park with my son when he was a teenager. It's very irreverent, but very funny. The obesity episode probably went over the heads of non-GLP folks. Yeah, if anyone who hasn't gone through this, they wouldn't have understood all the jokes. But those of us who have, oh my gosh, it was just one thing after another. And I also liked that the doctor said that obesity is a disease, that it is a disease. And they come up with that at the very end. The kids are like, hey, wait a minute. With all the way food is marketed to us and to get us hooked on things and, how all of this stuff works against us, we should never make fun of people who are obese because that's a disease and they can't help it. So we're not going to make fun of anybody who's obese anymore. And then the one chubby kid's really excited about that. But the sad part was his dream was, since everyone was always mean to him about his weight and made fun of him,
his dream was to go and make fun of everybody
else. Yes.
Okay. So there were not very good lessons to learn.
Yes. That one I was like, But yeah.
Other than that, it was a documentary.
Oh my gosh, it was. But even that kind of is too. They say a lot of men who are wife beaters and just horrific husbands that leave bruises and stuff on their wives and on their children were abused when they were kids. And they're acting out when they're older. My husband beater? No, but that's part of that too, of wanting that revenge and have the opposite power play. There was a lot of truths in that comedy cartoon. Oh my gosh. Hey, we got Traveling Tea in the house too. Hi, Traveling Tea. And Mindy says, Hit that like on your way in, everyone. And Gina, have your shot ready, ma'am. I do. Thanks, Mindy. And we really do appreciate that. It makes a difference. It's amazing what the likes will do. It lets YouTube know that this is a worthwhile video to share with people. And
she let you know to remember to take your shot.
Yes. Actually, I could probably take my shot right now. I got Grant saying good evening. Let's do just a few of these and then I'll take my shot. Okay. I got Robin's in the house too. Woohoo! And Harjareen is here. Yay! Good to see you again. And Robin says, we watch Paramount Plus here too. Well, you can see it. You can see it tonight, Robin, because it is there because we saw it last night on Paramount Plus. Hey, and we got Sandra Green in the house, and she says, hello, we got our package in the mail today. Yay, thank you. Cleo loved the little Jesus. There was a long debate for where she would display him. Thanks for the book, too. Oh, you are so welcome, Sandra. When you shared the story of when it's storming outside, how your daughter puts her rosary on the door handle of her bedroom, I don't know, that just really warmed my heart. So I'm so glad that you were able to email me your address so I could mail you a little Jesus and give you a copy too of my book. And, South Park, I don't know how old Chloe is, but, it'd be for teenagers or higher because it really is kind of rated R with all the different little violence kind of things in there and the swearing. But, my Anchor Moments book, I wrote it for adults, but the print is really big, and the story of forgiveness and how to forgive yourself, forgive others, and how to ask for forgiveness when you've made a mistake really would be good for anybody. So that book's actually for both of you, but I figured you'd probably want to read it first, but hopefully Chloe, you'll be able to read it at some point too, and I hope she gets something out of that. And Naturalista's in the house. Woo-hoo! And Naturalista says, hello, everyone. I'll have to watch that episode of South Park. It's hilarious. Oh, my gosh. And we got Vanessa in the house too. Hey, Vanessa.
I know you say finger slipped in the next comment, but I really like Anchor Mo.
Anchor Mo.
Hey, Anchor Mo.
Hey, Anchor Mo. There we go. Yep. Aww. And Sandra says, one of the creators is on the meds, and that is where the sound came from. Okay, that makes sense because the sound was perfect. Yep. It was absolutely perfect. And I can understand that one of the creators would be on there because, I mean, he really understood the struggles we went through in 2024 taking these GLP-1s.
So much of it was just accurate.
Yeah, it was crazy how accurate a lot of that was. And Grant says, I mainly watch Star Trek on Paramount Plus too. We're going to have so much fun at your house, Grant, when we visit you in West Virginia. Oh my gosh, we'll get you Trekkies together. And Barb says, hey, oh, yay, we got Barb back in the house. Woohoo! I was so glad I was able to call Barb and chat with her yesterday. And Vanessa says, of all the people to review a South Park episode, I wouldn't have predicted you two. I know. Good for you. Don't spend your super chat. Integrity Farms. You know what? If you would have said that to me Saturday, I wouldn't have known what you were talking about. But Integrity Farms was in that episode too.
That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is funny. Oh my gosh. And Grant's here. It says, hey, Barb, to Barb. And Robin saying hi to everybody. And Sandra's really laughing. Yep, that's pretty funny, Sandra. Yeah. Or funny, Vanessa. Oh my gosh. And And Vanessa says, hiya, Barb, Bindi, and everyone. Hey, we got Taz the Bulldog's mom in the house. Woohoo! She says, hi, everyone. Much love to you all. And Grant says, I'm having that difficulty for the first time in 33 weeks. I'll try Miralax. Thank you. It is very, very helpful for me.
And of all the ones you've taken, I think that's the one that's most effective.
And it's it doesn't have
not hard on you either.
You know, like there's so many laxatives, they're too hard for you, and you can get addicted to them. And they make your they give you cramps. They make your
intestines.
Yeah, they make it clench. You know, and so it gives you cramps trying to move your stuff out. No. Not Miralax. I've not had that issue. It's just working with the water in your body, but you got to drink the water. Otherwise it won't work. But if you drink, plenty of water with it, you'll do great. Hey, Sandra, thank you so much for the super chat. She said, little Jesus made it safely. Thanks for the book. Yay. Thanks, Sandra. Hey, and we got Claudia in the house. And Claudia says, hello, Gina and Jeff. Good to see you, Claudia. And we have Linda Holloway today. And she says, Miralax works great for me. I take about a quarter dose daily. Yeah, just a little bit,
Maybe you could do
with
that.
Plenty of water. Yeah. I could try that too. And Determined 34. Hey, our buddy Kay from Australia. She says, hi, all, just logged on. How are you all today? Cheers. Kay from Australia. So good to have you back, Kay. And Robin says, I'll have to go back and watch that episode. Sounds good. Oh my gosh, it was so funny, Robin. And it really did fit with what we talk about in salt, sugar, fat, as well as the Mounjaro stuff. And Kay says, have not seen any of the streaming shows about GLP and weight loss. What are the titles? Don't worry about the streaming services. It may be different in Australia. Okay.
So what was the Oprah one on?
Oh, the Oprah one was fantastic. And you know what? Though? You can find it on YouTube.
No, but I mean,
I think Oprah used to have her own channel. I don't know if she still does anymore, but you can find the Oprah episode on YouTube because Oprah has a YouTube channel too. And you'll be able to see that one.
She had a whole episode on there?
Yeah, because it's her.
A couple hours or something.
It was an hour. And then there's even the after the show, and she has the after the show on there because I watched it on YouTube.
So if
but it was on like ABC or something.
Determined 34 wanted to search for it. Search for Oprah GLP-1.
Because she's got YouTube, or she wouldn't see me right now.
Yes.
So she's got YouTube. So on YouTube, go to the Oprah channel and look on there. She did that around when I was first taking Mounjaro. So I took my first shot on January 10th of 2024. So it was shortly after that. It may have been end of January or February of 2024. And it's an excellent
were there other streaming shows?
And then, so that's a really good one. And then we're talking about South Park. It's a cartoon with cartoon kids, but it's not for kids. It is an adult cartoon. Like I say, if it went to the movies, it'd be rated R because there's the kids, even though they're in school, they swear and stuff, and it's adult themed. All of it's really is adult themed. But the episode, to see what the cover looks like, look at the thumbnail of today's video.
The End of Obesity. I think
it's called The End of Obesity. And it was done in May of 2024 by South Park. And Grant says, I wish insurance would cover without diabetes if BMI was at a certain level. Yeah, because there's so many health issues you're going to have, and you can nip a bunch of those health issues and reverse a lot of those health issues.
And remember the end of the South Park episode where the mom had not diabetes, but diabetes, It was like a mild form of diabetes that starts in your ear, supposedly.
Yeah.
And oh, yay. That's great, because now I can prescribe this for you.
Yeah, the doctor was all happy for her that she had a special kind of diabetes from taking this other medication, because now she can get the good stuff covered on her insurance. Crazy.
Did I give it away? Sorry.
No, it's
still fun to watch.
Yeah,
we watched it again
so
today.
much in it. Yeah, we watched it twice. We watched it last night, and then when we decided we were going to talk about it today, we watched it one more time this afternoon. And Kay says, one way to trick the food manufacturers is to eat more fresh foods, which you prepare yourself. This can be part of your healthy changes. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's just so much better for you when you cook your own stuff. And
your portions, you can just decide what portion you want to do.
Exactly.
How much you eat.
And Grant says cost of fresh food comes into play too, though. That is true. That is true.
Yeah, the food that's the worst for you is the cheapest.
It really is. I mentioned that on one of these 84 weeks, that a lot of times people who have the lowest income in the United States are actually the heaviest. And they're not so heavy because they're lazy. It's because the food that they're eating. So you're eating the macaroni and cheese, and things that cheap foods are the processed foods that are very high in carbs and very high in fat.
And probably been engineered to make you eat more too.
Yeah.
Also, people who are poorer probably are more likely to live in what they call a food desert, where there aren't a lot of grocery stores around
and good grocery stores
to compete and have prices be lower. All of that.
Yep. And so their produce and raw meat are going to be top dollar, even though they're in a low income area. And it makes it hard. Yeah. So you are right about that, Grant. And he says, I'll admit my wife still gives me my shot and puts my CGM on for me. Aw, but she loves you. And I do know that, because when Grant was our guest last week and he did just a superior job, it was such a good episode. He shared a lot of inspiring stories, but one of them was very touching. And his wife was taking care of the kids in the other room, and then she came in for a minute so she could
hi to your wife too.
Yeah, so she could put her hand on his shoulder and let him know that she loves him. It was really sweet. It was so touching. And and Determined 34 says, I was looking for how to inject before my first shot. That is how I found you, Gina. I watched you take your first shot, saw how brave you were. That is how I started with confidence. Oh, that's great. Thanks so much, Determined 34. And you know what, Kay? I tell people now, take your shot out of the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes before you give it to yourself, because you can't feel it. If you take it straight from the fridge, the needle is cold and the liquid inside is cold. I mean, it's not going to hurt a lot, but you're going to have a little bit of a sting. But when it sits out and is room temperature, you can't feel it. And so it was so funny. I didn't know that the first time I gave myself my shot. But when I did, oh my gosh, it took me at least an hour to get up the nerve to do it. And I did it on January 10th. And Jeff had his second surgery for his bladder cancer on January 3rd. So he was just 1 week into his recovery, and they had him he had to wear a catheter
for a couple of weeks.
For 2 straight weeks after his surgery at home.
Didn't I say, can we do this later?
Yeah.
Gina?
Yeah. And I'm like, Jeff, can you tape me doing this?
There's only one first time.
Yeah. He's like, I'll tape you next week. I'm like, no. Yeah, there's only one first time. Please come in now.
So we did.
Yeah. And I just needed that extra insurance because I was just really scared. I mean, the idea of putting a shot in your stomach was pretty scary to me. And then it was such a wonderful surprise, a relief that it didn't hurt. I couldn't believe it. But that is my tip for anyone who hasn't taken their shot yet. Take it out of the fridge first. And you know what? I think I'm going to take it right now while we're talking about it.
Do it.
Because I have been known, and Mindy knows, there have been a couple of episodes where I have my shot out and everything, and we chat, and I'm answering questions and stuff in the chat, and then I forget to take it.
Bye.
And they're like, yeah, I say goodbye and get off, and then I'm like, hey, wait a minute, I forgot to take my shot. I think I'm going to do my stomach today, since we were talking about how scary it is to do your tummy. Oh, wait, but I've got to actually need to be sitting down.
Yes, you do.
And I learned this too when and if Evelyn is watching, Evelyn did a shot for the first time, and
I'm gonna hide this comment too.
She was afraid that it didn't work, and I asked her, is the medicine out of the pen? Did it spill on you or on the floor? Because if it's not in the pen and it didn't spill on you and it's not on the floor, it really went in. You just couldn't feel it. Because I sometimes do it and I don't get a red dot, and it freaks me out too. I think, oh my gosh, I must not have did it, but I really did. And she was like, no, there was stuff on her, and it probably did. It probably did mess up. And I forgot to mention that there's been 3 or 4 times when I'm standing and gave myself my shot in my stomach or in my leg when standing, that I got like a little bubble of medicine that didn't go inside, that still stayed on the outside.
Probably because you're flexing your muscles a little bit.
Yeah, or something, and my skin's more taut or something, and it falls out. So I do much better. If I'm sitting down, it really goes in. So I'm going to sit down. You know what? I don't do down here very often. Can you still see down here?
Do that.
I almost never do. What would this be? Like 6 o'clock. You always should rotate. Even if you always want to do it on your tummy, all right. But do it with it. You need to have 2 inches away from your belly button, and you should be rotating your shot to a different spot each week. So that way you don't develop a little scar tissue, and then the medicine doesn't absorb as well. Okay, once your spot is clean, you take off the cap. And that's real important to do that before you do anything else, because it will break the shot. It won't work. Okay.
Did you unlock it?
Next up, unlock it. So you got to give it a twist. You're twisting the cap.
To the green.
To the green unlock.
Go ahead. There you go.
Okay, it's twisted. All right. There we go, 6 o'clock. I've never done 6 o'clock, I don't think.
I think you have.
Have I? I don't remember doing 6 o'clock. Okay. And then you push the purple button and you listen for 2 clicks.
There we go. Got it.
There we go. Yep, perfect. Went in and I didn't feel it. And the only way I know it went in is the little plunger thing is down here at the bottom now.
I watched
And if I go like this, I don't see any medicine floating around with a little bubble back and forth.
I watched it for the first time, Gina, and it kind of went a little like that.
Yep.
Inside there.
Yep, and just goes, and it goes all the way down, and then it pops back up because it's got it's spring loaded. So, all right, I got that done, and I'm also going to change out my. I have gone through menopause. I had a hysterectomy, and afterwards, I started taking hormone replacement therapy. And so I take an estradiol patch twice a week on Mondays and on Fridays. I have to take off my old patch and put on a new patch. And it's really simple. It looks like a piece of tape, like a piece of clear Scotch tape. And it's got my medicine on it, the estrogen. See, I think I cleaned right here for it. All right. And you just peel it off. There we go. And then here's my old sticker. And I just peel that off. There we go. Easy peasy. Okay, I don't know if they could see that. You already moved it, but whatever. It's just a piece of tape, put it on, and take off the old one. Yep, there we go. All right.
Any other comments?
Let's see what else is in our chat. Let's see here.
That looks like that's it.
Yep, is that the one? Oh, nope, there's more. Here we go.
Oh, thank you.
And Robin says, Jeff looks great. He always
I'm always jealous. You look good, Gina.
And Robin says, South Park is known for their predictions.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Huh. And Grant says, I finally started drinking more water when I started using my
Cool.
Oh, it's bottle flavors. Okay, he has something that makes his water taste good. And Claudia says, so grateful for this channel. Y'all are so real and so relatable, and you help so many people on this weight loss journey. You're encouraging and comedic. I just sincerely appreciate y'all. Oh, thanks so much, Claudia. I appreciate that big time. And Vanessa says, Oprah's special has been streaming on Hulu. Oh, okay. Only small clips on YouTube as far as I know. No, I saw one, the full thing. Really? Or unless she took it down. It's
possible.
Because that's possible. But I was able to see the entire episode on her YouTube channel. But
so
if you have Hulu,
title,
go to Hulu.
Maybe searching in YouTube would be good to find the exact title of what it is. And maybe the entire episode's there. But if not, you could find that exact titled episode on
As
Hulu.
you guys, it was really good. I actually did a video about it. If you look at my Mounjaro journey playlist, where I have all 84 weeks, one of those weeks I talked about it because it was really cool.
Good look and see.
It was a great episode. And Robin says, my Miralax is I eat dried pitted plums. About 7 is my snack. Yep, that would be helpful too. A lot of fiber.
I have some in the fridge right now. I've been eating them this week.
Oh, okay.
I don't have trouble with constipation, but I do like them.
Oh, there you go. And Sandy's in the house, and Sandy says, I need to try sitting when I give shots. I'm down 64 pounds today. Yay! And she is sure excited. That is great, Sandy. And Grant, is congratulating Sandy too, because we really like celebrating each other for sure. And Sandra said, did I miss your weekly weigh-in? Probably. And I just said that, let's see, when I went on an 8-week RV trip with Jeff, I waited a week before I weighed myself. And I didn't weigh myself on the road, and I was up 2 pounds. Then last week, I lost 1.5 pounds of that 2 pounds. And this week I maintained. Didn't gain anymore, didn't lose anymore. So I'm at 41.5 total while on Mounjaro, and 50 pounds, about 50 pounds for my highest weight.
Okay, by the way, the Oprah special is called Shame, Blame, and the Weight Loss Revolution.
Oh, and all the speakers that she had on that were just, you guys, it was so good. It was really an amazing episode.
Do you want to write that in? No, I'll make a comment.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to do that as a comment, Jeff. And Sandy says, oh, she's thanking Grant. And Cindy's congratulating Sandy too. And that, I think, is... Oh, yep. And Taz says that is still a win. Absolutely. Yep. I mean, it's amazing to me to be 84 weeks and have lost, to be down 50 pounds and not gain it back. That is a huge win for me. And I'm trying really hard to keep this weight off forever, and more. There's still more I need to lose, but we'll eventually get there. Yeah, anything not a plus is definitely a win. Wow. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. We're going to find out who did the most engaging stuff here. Let's see. YouTube has a thing now where we can find out who the top 3 people were in the chat tonight. And let's see here. If you see it on your own phone, you're all, yeah. If you see where it says top fans, if you click that, we can see who the top fans are. Yay! Sandra is number 1. Grant, you are number 2 today. And Taz the Bulldog's mom is number 3. And look, they get a cute crown.
Yeah.
Crown by their name. Isn't that fun? Oh, goodness. And Cindy says, yes, a tremendous win. Yay. Aw, and Cindy says, so excited for you guys. You really do inspire us all. I appreciate that. You two are an amazing team. Thanks, Cindy. And Grant says, thank you all. Have a great week.
Oh, we got one more.
One more. It just means I talk too much. No, we love it. Yeah. We love it. Thank you for engaging on our channel. And everybody, hold on to your anchor moments and make it a great day. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.